Let's take you to this now. Humanitarian aid organization Gift of the Givers is responding to wide-scale flooding in Riverlands outside Malmesbury. Gift of the Givers Project Co-Ordinator Emily Thomas joins us now via video link to give us the latest update. Emily, thank you so much for your time. Just talk to us about this latest flooding. We do understand it may be related to another farm dam wall collapse. What can you tell us?
Well, yeah, we were in the area this morning handing out food hampers to the affected families. And, the families were just at a point now where they were just about to finish cleaning up and almost their lives going back to normal. And then while we were at our very last distribution, we just saw this little girl came running, crying, saying the water is coming, the water is coming. We then jumped into our vehicle and we drove for about probably a kilometer into the area, and we saw the water coming down the roads like a river flooding.
Emily, continue. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. And we just saw the water coming down the roads like a river. And the emotions of the people, children were crying, people running from everywhere, just coming to one point where they could feel safe at that moment. And for us to be there, to experience that was just amazing, because people also appreciated the fact that we were on the ground, seeing what is happening and seeing their circumstances.
This is the fourth dam wall collapse, correct? It also comes just as officials and engineers in that area were given time to investigate what caused the other three dams. It is short of astonishing that this is happening now. Were there no warnings at this point in time? Do you know?
There was really no warnings because it happened unexpectedly. And in terms of what was happening in and around the dam, that I don't have an update of, but I just know that there was engineers and everybody that were working around the dam for the past few days.
Emily, of course, you were telling us that you had been, as Gift of the Givers, in the scene following those three other wall collapses, and that caused so much damage. What is the need on the ground at the moment? How are people actually, surviving from the previous collapses, and how much damage is this one now causing?
I want to tell you that basically the same people that were affected when the last three dams collapsed, the same amount of people, which is probably about 1,000 families we're talking about, the same amount of people are affected now. And it is so sad, because some people are still hosted in pop-up centers in churches, and then others went back to their homes and started cleaning up, and now this whole process needs to start all over.
Are there any other authorities, Emily, that you know of that are in the vicinity or are in fact, responding to this latest emergency?
Yes, the fire risk management are there, disaster management is there, the local municipalities is there, there is law enforcement is there. There's quite a few people. They've been in the community since this thing has happened in this community, and they've been visible within the community. But when this thing happened, just more enforcement were called in to be present and to help and assist people. People were also evacuated with a caterpillar while we were there in the area. People were actually put in the scoop of a caterpillar so that they could just bring them to safety, especially the elderly people.
You mentioned that you have to start from scratch in terms of just the help that you are giving these people. What does that entail? It is so devastating what you are telling us in terms of, over 1,000 people again being affected.
So basically, for the past few days, we've been giving people hot meals every day since they didn't have water, they don't have electricity, and currently they're still without water. So every day we've been cooking hot meals for them, taking it to them, making sure that they've got their sanitary, making sure that they've got blankets. And now, basically, like I was saying, we gave out food hampers this morning, and I'm sure most of these food hampers that we gave out this morning were all damaged in this flood again. And so, which means we will have to start all over by giving dry blankets, giving more food, and just being present within this community.
Earlier this month, you know, there were some people who were missing in the initial flood, but, you know, fortunately they were found alive and safe. Do you know of any injuries now? I mean, you've just given us a report of a young child coming to you crying, reporting that there's been yet wide-scale flooding in that area. Do you know of any injuries or anyone who has not been accounted of at this point in time?
At this point in time, I can't talk of people that is not been accounted for. However, I know there was people that was stranded in the area, and I don't know if the authorities has got to them as yet.
Emily, thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. Of course, that is a gift of the Givers Project Co-Ordinator, Emily Thomas. And this is the breaking news story of the day. A fourth dam, it would seem, in that particular area has collapsed. This is in Riverlands, causing wide-scale flooding. That's the information we are getting now. This has further affected over 1,000 people that were originally affected, if you will recall, earlier this month when those 3 other dams collapsed. We'll, of course, keep you abreast in terms of what is happening there and what search and rescue teams are helping and how they're helping, and if anyone, God forbid, has been injured in that. But all of that coming up during the course of the day.